whispering and giggling behind their hands. Even Mr. Morley was uncharacteristically restless, darting in and out of his office like a figure on a cuckoo clock. Only Mr. Montgomery stayed on the other side of his partition as usual, silent save for the creak of his chair and the occasional thump of the drawer that stuck. Mr. Morley had made the announcement 2 weeks before, stepping into the middle of the room and clearing his throat. "Ladies, Mr. Montgomery, one moment of your time, if I may." And then, when he had their attention, "I am pleased to say that we have a new employee." A little self-conscious cough. "As I've said before, stationery is a growing concern, a very lively market, and our first salesman will be starting with us next month." Caroline sat up a little straighter. Her hand went to her hair. Jessie, sitting opposite her, raised an eyebrow at this, then lowered her eyes and smiled to herself. Mr. Morley went on. "He will be travelling about the country a great deal, but he will also be coming into this office now and then." Miss Shepherd was brisk. "His name, Mr. Morley?" "His name is Ryan. Some of you will already know his wife. Mrs. Ryan works in our Sunbury office as a typist to Mr. Simpson, so you see, he is already something of a known commodity." Mr. Morley smiled at his little joke. "I'm sure you will all make him welcome." When Miss Shepherd had gone into Mr. Morley's office with her shorthand notebook and closed the door behind her, Caroline leaned forward. "How are you going to make Mr. Ryan welcome then, Jessie?" "Oh, Caroline!" She sat back, laughing. "I wonder what he looks like." Jessie folded her arms. "What does it matter to you? Have you forgotten about Eddie?" "I'm only saying, just because I have Eddie doesn't mean I can't notice other men." Her expression softened. "Ryan's an Irish name. I bet he's dark, with green eyes." There was silence for a moment. Bea read over the letter she was typing. Then Jessie said, "Do you think we'll see a lot of him?" "Don't think so, worse luck. He'll mostly be visiting customers, won't he, all over. I wonder if he has a car, for all that travelling." "On what Morley pays." A muffled giggle. "Shh, they'll hear you." Their voices had lowered, softened into whispers, and then Bea had only been able to hear the odd word. When. Meetings. Wife. Don't. Now Bea watched them all from behind her typewriter. She watched Miss Shepherd straighten the files on her desk for the third time and glance at the clock again. They had expected him by 9:30. But it was after the quarter hour when the door opened and a sweep of air entered, followed by the tall outline of a man. He smelled cold and faintly of tobacco, the smell like a window opening on the room's warm female fug. Before Bea could get a clear look at him, Caroline was on her feet between them, one smooth movement like a stretching cat, and leaning against Jessie's desk so that he couldn't easily pass. She extended her hand. "Caroline Norris, how do you do?" Bea saw the movement of his shoulder in the gap between the girls as he reached to shake Caroline's hand, and then Jessie's. He murmured something that she couldn't quite hear. Caroline said, "What's the weather like outside, Mr. Ryan?" As if she hadn't come in herself less than an hour before, as if she was somehow incapable of looking out the window. Bea shook her head and replaced her fingers on the keys. The effort this all seemed to take, the angling of the body, the slanted looks, the careful smiles. Mr. Montgomery emerged then, and the girls found suddenly that they were on their way to fetch a new ink ribbon from the stationery cupboard and to place a typed letter on Miss Shepherd's desk. As they moved out of the way, Bea saw him plainly for the first time. She saw dark eyes